Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will look into a scenario in which the Middle East and India subcontinent goes to war. The India subcontinent would have the advantage because India 1 billion people, Pakistan 200 million people, Bangladesh 160 million. Based on population, they dominate. Based on nukes, they would dominate, but there's no nukes in this video. But based on stability, they wouldn't. They would be about equal, I think. No, the India subcontinent might be a bit more stable, but I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about their stability. But they have one benefit. They have Afghanistan. You can't invade Afghanistan. Mountains are everywhere in this region. And then we get to the jungle there. Hopefully India and Pakistan don't get taken out. But if you and then Afghanistan is 30 million, so it's not really factoring to that. I would say 1.8, maybe 1.9 billion, maybe even 2 billion, but I'd say it's 1.9 billion. The strongest country here would be India. And then that'd be followed by Pakistan. Chances are, I feel like maybe Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Turkey would be behind them. I think Egypt is the weakest out of these nations. Or maybe, well, Yemen is the weakest nation, but each side has some pretty weak nations. But we have Bhutan, Nepal. There's nothing they can do, but it's impossible to invade them. With the first fighting, as I am speaking about who's stronger, breaking out. Let's see. Well, a small force is sent by Pakistan trying to secure its border as I heard the war declaration. But let's see, is this defensiveness enough? No, as Iran pushes them back. And Iran is ready to cross the border into the Baluchi area. No, I'm kidding. There's no Baluchi area. Well, I think it's, yeah. As they cross into Pakistan. This is a bad situation already. Well, not really bad for Afghanistan. You can't invade Afghanistan. Despite the fact the Mughals occupied a lot of it. With Iran holding a small chunk of land in Afghanistan, but a really small one into Pakistan. Their goal is now to move up on the Afghan-Pakistan border and take Kabul and also take Islamabad, which they're spearheading out to both. With their spearhead towards Kabul going to success, and the Battle of Kabul breaks out, which they take out Kabul. And well, as they head for Islamabad, they have a big spearhead as they do this. They move into Islamabad. They didn't even encircle it and they managed to take it because Pakistan wasn't really ready. And Pakistan is one of the most vulnerable to global warming, though. Which is unfortunate. As it looks like Karachi is going to fall soon in the future. With some guerrilla fighters popping up in Afghanistan. If Iran doesn't really do much to stop them because they don't really cross the border. They're chilling, basically. As they're moving towards Karachi, a big chunk of India's army is sent over. With India seeing as a morale boost to use their navy, which they... Yeah, I think Turkey thinks they own some of Greece's territorial waters for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like that's, like, in reality there's a dispute between the two. Maybe there is, I didn't hear of. No, I'm kidding. There is a dispute, as we all know. As this has taken a launch. Nobody expected India's navy to be able to do this. as they manage to get to Yemen. And strategically, this has a big strategy behind it. Why am I saying there's a big strategy? Look at it. You block this big chunk, the Persian Gulf, so now Saudi Arabia only has one way to get its oil out. With them moving into Yemen. This is the area of Yemen with the resources they're moving into. But as they manage to get a foothold, they slowly expand. Especially in Yemen. But Saudi Arabia gets its troops get troops prepared and launch a counter-offensive. Which leads India not holding as much of a gain as you would think. But only one problem, India's navy wasn't fully prepared here. With both the navy, with the Iranian and Saudi navy doing this. Trying to move out. But, unfortunately, the Indian navy does the exact same thing. And yeah. And then the next thing happens is they move to India's crab claw. What is this area? Goa? This is around Goa, a Portuguese colony. With them managing to make a landing into India. Which causes the second battle of Karachi to break out, basically. As they come up here. With the other forces here going around, basically. With both making a spearhead, and well, Karachi is open. With these guerrilla pockets being taken out. Leading to a bit more of Afghanistan being occupied, which isn't great. With Pakistan still alive. Because India's keeping them alive. What a shock. And well, another landing is made over here. But the only problem is they can't really move because of population. With forces from Bangladesh and Bhutan and Nepal and Myanmar coming over. And they start a counter-offensive in the north just south of Islamabad. Actually, right near Islamabad. And near Kabul as they encircle Kabul and take it. In the second battle of Kabul, as the second battle of Islamabad breaks out and Islamabad is taken. And as a big encirclement is made of Iranian and Saudi Arabian forces. And now appearing to be a more stabilized war. As India starts using a bit of conscription, but not heavy conscription, light conscription of like 10 million people. How's that light conscription? Because think of it, India's population. Which allows this, as I was talking about how they have the population factor. The population factor in modern war is irrelevant. Now it's having modern weapons with a lot of people versus the past where we just sent men in death waves, which is a bad way of fighting. That is how wars have been fought in the past. Well, maybe. Like World War II is about who can make the most tanks. That's why the Soviets did so well. But if a war is about population and numbers, then you need the numbers to win. But even then, numbers aren't going to guarantee anything. With Yemen about on the verge of capitulation, the only area left is controlled by Houthis. Yeah, Houthis. What is that? Something. As they take Sani's the capital. And then they start moving, hoping to take Aden, the port. As they move their navy up into the Red Sea. as this is why they're having the advantage now. This is slightly based on the last video I made, with the port of Aden being secured. Why is this based on the last video where East and West Europe went to war? Because, well, it's an idea because it's two different regions going to war. I might have done a battle similar to this, because I have done region wars before. Actually, this might be a repeat of this video, but it's not a big deal. With Iran's military trying to hold as far as they can. The only problem is there's somebody in this alliance who isn't really loyal. Why is there a non-loyal person in this alliance? I can't tell you who it is, but somebody in this alliance is not like the rest. In the Middle East. Someone in the Middle East is not like the rest. That's your hint. And they're going to trade teams and trade areas, with them using their navy to launch an attempted landing into behind the front lines in Iran. But the first time they do this is met with fierce Iranian resistance. But not even days after, they attempt a landing. But, of course, you can't land twice in the same spot. That's not how it works. With them moving up behind the front lines and succeeding. This is where Pakistan sends its military, and they do this. And yeah, it's a bad turn of events, I mean. With the Navy here being in trouble. And troops are being demoralized in some areas. And the Navy of India succeeds. And the don't send much out because of how unstable they are. They send like 5,000 forces in. It's just a lot. Considering when they took over Afghanistan, they only had like 70,000 forces. But that's besides the point. And well, India takes their last ditch attempt to kick Iran out, which they succeed in. But their push into Iran is being hindered by geography. But meanwhile, Saudi Arabia, they're just succeeding in. As they move into the other part of Oman's done. With the last push on Iran's front happening. As it comes down from Tehran. As Tehran is encircled and taken, which leads to the blue team having the upper hand, especially with the Persian Gulf falling. And they move up this waters, the Red Sea, quickly. Nobody knows why they managed to take over Israel's water with Israel losing no boats. But something weird happens. Israel attacks Palestine. Claiming they have the right to do this. As they invade Palestine, they move into Jordan and Lebanon and Syria, with them quickly moving into Egypt. They have a habit of taking this land, Israel does. With them moving into Jordan. Well, this is where problems start for the blue team in the Persian Gulf. As the India subcontinent starts two offensives up the Red Sea coast, the Persian Gulf. One, they start moving up towards Kuwait. As they take out Kuwait and they move their forces up into Iraq. Well, luckily this is where they move. As they move up towards Baghdad, they take Baghdad out. as this is kind of like the end of Iraq again. Why are they following America invasion patterns? And then they do this. With them having Iran in shambles and ready to put a new government in, many people in Iran give up. As the rest of Iran is captured, except a tiny bit that's occupied by Turkey. And, well, they move up. And with Iraq following with them weeks, and Israeli and Indian subcontinent forces meet up. Israel was a traitor. I bet you guys all guessed it. With them moving up towards Mecca, moving towards Riyadh, which, as they get to Riyadh, they encircle Riyadh and take it. As they move up towards Mecca, they encircle Mecca, even though Mecca's right there. It's up here now. And they take it. And, well, Saudi Arabia is just a sandy empire. But that's being the end of Saudi Arabia. And with Turkey's navy pretty much disappearing. Well, it doesn't get fully sunk. They just take their navy and hide it on land. Does not make much sense. With the India subcontinent not going to give up because they have population domination. And, well, as Syria, Iraq, and the rest of Iran falls. With them moving up towards Ankara, moving in from the south. As they move up and encircle Ankara and take it. As they move towards and they manage to take out Istanbul, Turkey collapses. As Egypt's capital of Cairo is taken by Israel, Egypt finally agrees to peace, and a peace treaty is drafted and signed. That state's probably shocking you, or the new country they made as their ally. Kurdistan is their new ally. Iraq is made great. Why is Iraq made big? Because it can be. It gave Kuwait what's left of Syria, and, well, it gave lands from Iran. And then we have Saudi Arabia, who's now known as the Arabian Kingdom. Although it loses land to Pakistan and India. Iran lost land to Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kurdistan. Turkey lost a lot of land to Kurdistan, but keeps as a puppet. Israel just becomes an empire. I'm pretty sure that Israeli empire will probably fall apart. But, you know, let's hope it lasts. And then we have Egypt, a puppet. But Azerbaijan wasn't even involved in this war. Guess what? They get land, guy. You see that island that I forgot about? Well, India annexes it. And, well, there are arguments brewing between these two nations over some land that wasn't really, which was floated around during the treaty that should be gave to the Mesopotamian Empire. That Mesopotamia is claiming this land. But then they need to specify this area of the treaty that was forgotten about, and they come up with dividing it right about here. And the settlement Iraq likes more than the Arabian Kingdom. And, well, with the lands being exchanged, this border dispute no longer exists. But Saudi Arabia probably will detest that. Probably the Arabian Kingdom. And Iran is ruled by a new government, which is very pro-Indian subcontinent. Which I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Why should you subscribe? It's good for this channel. So please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video, pretty much. Please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper is soon out. But we need to subscribe. We're at 135. That's 40 away. Today is the 30th of January. So we have 2 days to get to 175 subscribers. So can 20 people subscribe today? That'd be great. You share this video. And that's all for today's video. Wild Mapper out.